Heroes and Legends. Future. The Medonian Scholastical Reconciliation. Giving the failed attempts by both the Yui Empire and the Medonian Kichu forces, it was a stalemate. Still, both sides were reluctant to give up. A massive attack was scheduled as the forces of the other scholastical forces and a mixture of Medonian troops locked themselves in battle. Melkamah led this attack as attacking against the main scholastical forces. Hall, who was the very bold and hot-headed man and always put his men in danger, was in the front lines. In this battle, he was accompanied by his friend Gino, who was there to watch over him. Nada was also fighting this battle against the Medonians. When these two met, they dueled each other for supremacy. Ah, so you're this Nardo person I hear so much about. Fight me. And then Nardo said, it's like looking in the mirror. You want to fight me? Fine. The two clashed and locked heads. He started sumo wrestling, then rolling in the mud and fighting very, very closely, hand-to-hand combat. Marissa and me sit down and looked at her husband fighting the enemy like this. She was then later joined by Maya. And Maya was like, oh, look at my brother. At it again. And then Jenna slowly but surely walked by an enemy. I noticed that Hall was fighting and the other two were just watching. She asked politely, excuse me, you're not gonna try and ambush us, aren't you? And then Maya grabbed Jenna by the neck, put her arms around her and said, no, of course not, silly. Come, sit down. I made a seat for you. The ladies sit down on the sidelines and watch the men fight. It was amazing. Scholastican and Medonian forces were together as they cheered for their particular friends and allies. And then Maya asked Jenna, so Jenna, is Hall your husband, your boyfriend, your boy toy? What is he to you? Jenna just blushed and couldn't answer. She was so surprised with the answer. Marissa told Maya to silence. Stop that. It's bad enough that she's embarrassed. Please don't pressure. Oh, like I did to you. Look, now you and my brother are inseparable. And then both Marissa and Jenna grew blushing and turned quietly. Then Eve, Ubi, the daughter of Orient, had appeared to see her friend Maya, and they looked. And everyone was sitting down enjoying the show. Nato and Hall were so busy fighting they did not notice that their women were looking at them and cheering them on. Eve said to herself, wow, the Medonian and Scholastian forces just sitting down enjoying a good time. Why can we do this for real? And then Marissa went up to Eve and said, my lady, what's wrong? Then Eve explained to her that she never wanted to lead anything. She wanted to live a carefree life, like how Marissa and Maya lived. As success of the Yubi clan, she had a very responsibility over her shoulders that she did not want. She wanted to live free and in peace, did not want to worry about war or fighting for the namesake of other people's ambition. Sitting in this meeting, this rare moment in the middle of this war, so peace and friendship could reign. It was impressive. Then some control troops walking by with supplies came by. Maya stopped them and said, hey, you, with those food, bring them here. We're hungry. These guys are putting on a show. I'm starving. And you ladies want some? And then Gino reluctantly raised her hand and said, me. And then Marissa and Eve and everyone started eating, laughing, drinking, having a good time. While Nardo and Hall continued to fight. The battle lasted for hours, until both men were too exhausted to fight. And Melkamah, back out on the side of the battlefield, beaten back the enemy, and they began to retreat. And then both sides decided to call it a day and won. and decided to leave the battlefield without any much damage to either side. And after the battle, after the battle, it was said that the war might have been over. This cooperation of peace and friendship had the potential to end the war, end all wars, but this war was indeed unnecessary. But the powers that be, Nelkama, Emperor Uyui, and Molzi in particular, would not allow such peace to happen, for their generation wanted war. But the generation of Gino, Maya, Marissa, and Eve want nothing more than peace and friendship and the end to the fighting. A generational gap of differences was now showing. How will all this end? And will the next generation prove to be the only way towards ending the wars of the universe?